You studied this before spring break, but it maybe has been a while, so we should do a little bit of notes first on your 2-4 solving equations with variables on both sides. So you do have 2-4 notes that might be good for you to have those out along with you, but you should also copy these notes down on another sheet of paper or in a notebook if you have a notebook, and then keep these notes also. Okay, so solving equations with variables on both sides. You should have in your notes, hopefully, this little saying, "Don't call me after midnight." This little saying tells you the order in which you should solve, what step you should do at what point. So D stands for distribute. Means if you have that, you do that first. C stands for combine like terms. Remember, like terms are on the same side of the equal sign. So if you have any like terms, that would be the next thing you would do. The first M stands for move the variable to one side of the equal sign. So if we have variables on both sides, you pick one and move it to the other side. You move it by either adding or subtracting that term. Then A stands for add or subtract the constant. Remember, the constant is the number that's by itself with no variable attached to it. And then the last M stands for multiply or divide by the coefficient of the variable, that number that you have in front of your variable. Like if you have 3g, 3 is your coefficient, you would multiply or divide to get rid of it. You want to follow these steps every single time. Distribute, combine like terms, move the variable, add or subtract, multiply or divide, in that order. You will have times where you don't have something. So maybe you don't have like terms to combine, you get to skip that step. Maybe you don't have distributing or anything to add or subtract for your constant. Skip any step that you don't have, but go in this order. Okay, so let's go through some examples together. So get these written down and follow along with me. If you want to try some on your own, you can pause the video and then watch what I did and make sure we get the same answer. One thing that is important is there's going to be a couple of times where I might make a certain choice. You're going to have options. You might have two things that you could do. You may not have done the same thing I did, but as long as we get the same answer, we're okay. All right. So looking at our problem, we have 6D equals 4 plus 7D. So don't call me after midnight. D stands for distribute. So do we have any distributing? No. Distributing is when we have those parentheses. Don't have any of that. C stands for combine like terms. Remember, like terms are on the same side of the equal sign. So draw your line through your equal sign. Do I have like terms over here? No. Do I have like terms over here? No. We cannot look at these two. These are not like terms because see, they cross over that line. So no like terms. M stands for move the variable. So see how we have 6D and 7D, but they're on opposite sides? This is where we move the variable. So this is the one you should move because it's with another number. 6D is already by itself, so it wouldn't be helpful to move it. You should move this plus 7D. You always move by either adding or subtracting. Since it says plus 7, we should subtract 7D from both sides. Remember, if you need a calculator at any point, have a calculator handy, your phone, regular calculator. Desmos is always useful. Have something to help you. So I have 6D minus 7D gives you negative 1D equals, keep your equal sign in that line so that you can have your sides, 4, because we didn't do anything with it, but 7D minus 7D cancels out, those are gone. After you move your variable, come back up here, A stands for add or subtract. So do you have any addition or subtraction? You do not. This is not a -1, this is a -1. So no addition or subtraction. Next is multiplication or division. Do we have any multiplication or division? Yes, we do. Remember that a number right next to a letter, there's that imaginary times sign. So we have multiplying by -1. So we need to divide by -1. Divide by -1 leaves you with D equals 4 divided by -1 is -4. And there's your answer. D equals -4. Our next problem is -3J minus 10 equals -5J. Start with distributing. Do you have any? No, because there's no parentheses. Move to combine like terms. Like terms have to be on the same side. I have negative 3j and negative 10, and those are not like terms. And over here, I just have negative 5j. I don't have a second term, so no like terms. Move the variable. I have negative 3j, negative 5j. They're not on the same side, so we need to move one. Now, I know a lot of times you like to move the variables to the left, but that's not beneficial here because there's nothing else here. So instead, we should move this one to the right. Since it's negative 3j, you move it by adding 3j to both sides. Negative 3j plus 3j is gone. You still have negative 10 equals negative 5 plus 3, which if you do need a calculator, negative 5 plus 3 gives you negative 2j. Now we've moved our variable, move to adding or subtracting. Do we have any of that? Look at the side with your variable. No, there's no addition or subtraction. So move on to multiplication and division. Remember, there's our imaginary times sign right here. I have negative 2 times j, so I need to divide by negative 2 on both sides. Negative 10 divided by negative 2. Remember, 2 negatives make a positive, and 10 divided by 2 is 5, equals, your negative 2's will cancel out, j, or j equals 5. Same answers. Next problem. Line through equal sign. I want you to try this one on your own if you can. We just did 2. This one looks very similar to those 2 problems. Okay, I want you to work it out. Pause the video, try it on your own, and then when you come back, remember that if we don't do the exact same order of steps and everything, as long as our final answers match, you did it correctly. Pause the video and try it and then come back. All right, your first step should have been to move the variable since you have a 7n and a 5n. I hope that you moved this 7n over to the right side since this is already by itself, but there's a plus 2 over here. So moving your plus 7n would be better by subtracting 7n from both sides. Leaves you with 2. 7n minus 7n is gone. Equals 5n minus 7n is negative 2n. Then you don't have anything else other than this negative 2 times n, so you move straight to the very end where you multiply or divide by your coefficient of negative 2. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1 equals n. Or maybe you got it as n equals negative 1. Same answers. Once again, I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own also. So get that copy down and pause the video and try it on your own, and then we'll work it out and you can follow along and make sure you got the right answer. So you once again should start out with, you have a 2v over here on the left and 3v here on the right, and you should move one of them. This time you would want to take this 3v and move it to the left since this 2v is already by itself, but the 3v has the plus 10. So since this is a positive 3v, you should subtract 3v. Subtract 3v. 2v minus 3v is negative 1v equals 3v minus 3v is gone, leaves you with just 10 on the right side. You don't have any addition or subtraction, so you can move straight to you have this multiplication. So you need to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, leaves you with v equals negative 10. All right, a couple more steps to do in this one than what we've seen in the last couple of problems. So once again, draw your line through your equal sign. Distributing, we don't have any distributing. Combine like terms, no like terms since we have y's and y's but on the opposite sides. Constant and a constant but on opposite sides, so no like terms. Next, we need to move our variable. This time you have the choice to move this 2y or the 4y, doesn't matter. I know you like to move it to the left, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's move this 4y over to the left, and since it's positive, we need to subtract 4y and subtract 4y. We didn't do anything with the 7. It needs to just come down. 2y minus 4y, 2 minus 4 is what we have. Gives you negative 2y, or minus 2y, equals our 4y minus 4y is gone, leaves us with negative 9. After you move the variable, we need to get rid of our constant. So if we look over here on our side with our variable, we have a 7. Notice that the 7 is positive, so you should subtract 7 from both sides. Your 7 minus 7 is gone. You still have negative 2y equals negative 9 minus 7. Negative 9 minus 7 is negative 16. And then your last step would be to divide by your coefficient of negative 2 on both sides. So that leaves you with y equals 2 negatives make a positive. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Line 3 equal sign. Start with distributing. Don't have any. Combine like terms. Oh, we have like terms in this problem. 13g and minus 4g. When you combine like terms, you just combine them based on what it says. It says 13 minus 4. So 13g minus 4g is 9g. Still have minus 2 equals 18g plus 7. Now I want you to try and finish this on your own from here because this looks like the last problem we just did. Okay, finish it and then come back and see how you did. Now remember, as I'm going through this, if you did something slightly different, maybe you moved the variable differently or something like that, as long as we get the same answer, we're okay. So we have a 9g and an 18g on different sides, so we need to move one. Since this is a positive 18g, I can subtract 18g from both sides. 9 minus 18 is negative 9g. Still have minus 2 equals 18g minus 18g is gone. I just have 7. At this point, we need to get rid of our addition or our subtraction. I have minus 2, so we need to add 2. I didn't do anything to negative 9g. Minus 2 plus 2 is gone. 7 plus 2 is 9. And now we have negative 9g, which means I have negative 9 times g. So I need to get rid of that negative 9 by dividing on both sides. So g equals 9 divided by negative 9 is negative 1. If you did not get that same answer as me, then you should just follow through my video, copy down how I went through it. Last one. Try it on your own if you can. Come back, see how you did. No distributing, no like terms, and no like terms. So we need to move our variable. I have negative 15s that I can move to the left side by adding, since it is negative. Negative 5s plus 15s is 10s. I didn't do anything to that 20. Negative 15s plus 15s is gone. I still have negative 20 over on the right side. Now when you look at the side with your variable, you have that plus 20 that you need to get rid of. You can get rid of plus 20 by subtracting 20 from both sides. Gives you 10s. Your 20 minus 20 is gone. Negative 20 minus 20 is what you have there. Negative 20 minus 20 is negative 40. And then you have that 10 in the front of your s that you need to get rid of by dividing. Negative 40 divided by 10 is negative 4. S equals negative 4.